It's the Archivist, y'all, exclusively interviewing a son, aka Suntonio Bandanaz.
Fresh Coast.
And who is the infamous pioneer of Seattle, A-Sun, aka Suntonio Bandanaz?
Man, you know, it's been a long time, man. Like good 18 years just about now, man. Just been MCing and been a teaching artist ever since I've been involved as a young dude. I was known for selling my CDs and tapes on the street everywhere I went and serving people in battles, you know what I'm saying? That's how it really evolved into the guy that I am. People hear about me, that's how they know. I'm out here staying serving.
And who is Falshawn?
Falshawn is one of the OG homies, man. He was on lock for a long ass time, man. Real creative, one of the most, important brothers to come through Seattle in a minute, that connected with a large amount of my family, my crew, man. So we just got nothing but love for that brother, man, wherever he may be right now.
And what was your first album released ever?
My first actual full album on CD, actually, was called Titanium Buttermilk Rhinoceros Briefcase. Nabs Crew, Fresh Coast, had artwork, cover art, and the hand style done by House from Blast Off Productions, It featured cats from Fourth World, UCG, Depths, Emotions, even Route was on there, had Elevated Elements on there, it was a dope CD, I really wasn't ready to release it when I did, but it, cats pushed it and we made it rock and we started slinging them and hustling and doing shows like that for sure.
And where'd you grow up?
Oh man, CD, South End, Central area, over here off of Union and 25th, my grandmama house, and then in the 6002s back in the day, over in the Kingway apartments in the South End. I've been around for a minute and so it's both sides of the flags for me, man. I know all these brothers, man.
And one of the craziest chops you've recorded and performed, what song?
Oh man, there's been so many songs where I've been chopping, man. It's really hard to say what my favorite one or the craziest one was. I think that would have to be based on a yearly thing. There's always a craziest chop of the year. I could say that at least.
Anything you can share?
Oh man, something to share, man. I think one of the craziest ones was Play This Loud, and it was man. It's the ego deflation. Until the native homies report the nation, they say come on niggas deep as the basin at the bottom of a water, so we're patiently waiting to take it over my conversation. Observing to make another beginning of the final credit. Stop hating in time to get it before your mind can catch you. You better know what design record. From the mouth of Mad 1 to my vinyl records. Look, I said it cause you're contemplating. And you remember when I'm stopping Satan. When I go therapy, kept getting a burden of a martyr in every single song I'm making. And all it's taking is a lifetime. So whatever your side finds, worthy of potential, my listeners under tight rhymes. Unifying people cause evil block the light shine. They don't want to see me on 3P. Guessing they just ride pine. You bumping the Fresh Coast as you ride by. You wanting the best flows, come and try mine. You wanting to get ghosts and it's bye-bye. Boom, bitty. Who with me? My crew bigger than 2 cities. Ooh wee, did you get it for free? If not, did you come just check MC? Shit's hot like you wouldn't believe or couldn't perceive, but shouldn't it be? The P to the alpha. All the chickens with hair like alfalfa. And every time I get in the mic, my crash master. So they don't want to trip with a guy, it's disaster. Get a grip on your life and die faster. You gotta learn to rip on sight, cause I have to put in the work. Get what you want and see what it's worth is my answer. My beast banging and begging for my Atlanta. They're just an abbreviation of life chapters. Looking frightened and shook. I'm writing a book and got a swinging like the hanging from the rafters. Man, look, all the hatred of the harness, they can't trap us. I'm be rapping regardless of any backup. I got a mission to finish, they turn the track up. And the Nike's in it, they put their hands up.
And the 2520604.
Oh man, 250520604, man. Fresh Coast. My dudes up in Canada, you know what I'm saying? Oh, dude, man. I know there's no more 4-dub, man, but all of that Fresh Coast is still living, homie, you know what I'm saying? Much love to Emotions, Depths Mnemonic, you know what I'm saying? Much love to the homies Zest, Kest, Z-Ton, he's back in Japan right now, all these guys from Victoria, Vancouver, Matt the Alien up there in Whistler, you know what I'm saying? We were holding it down so hard, cats couldn't see us on the mic out there in Van City for a large portion of the late 90s and early 2000s. It was really a problem. Because the B-boy cats were going super hard. All of the young graph cats who were on at the time, they were going super hard. Plus, Kona Rock. Man, just so many cats, at that age level. And a lot of those cats were little homies to me. But at the same point in time, it was a good experience to actually be a part of the universal networking capabilities that hip-hop culture is giving everybody. To be able to go somewhere, meet some like-minded people, put in some work and some time and effort, and share experiences together and put them all onto like some type of format that you can give to other people. Hopefully they can actually see that and envision that, you know? And like all the crews were on some like next level, you know, ish to begin with. You had Resurrecting Imagination's Potential, Fourth World Occupants, 500 Years, The Indelible Revolution, Alpha P, Anunnaki Politics, Elevated Elements. I'm saying, man, Universal Colossal Gospel. These names really mean something. It's not just like, oh, hey, it sounds cool, let's just call it that. Nah, there's a reason, because we want people to start having dialogue and opening conversations, you know? It's a communication tool as anything. That's what the voice and the words that we say and use in these songs are really made up of, you know? And being on that type of vibration will really make people more receptive to having these type of conversation and using the pedestal that hip-hop has provided for the voiceless communities, you know, to get not only give them a voice but give them subject matter to actually build a conversation off of on some completely other shit, not just on some basic, hey, did you get the new Jordans? Hey, did you go and rock the new coat that they just released? Nah, man, like that's cool. It's just, you know, that's not even skin deep yet, man. We got to go deeper than that.
And how'd you get involved in the 206 Zulu Nation?
Oh man, that's all thanks to Zulu King Chasm, man. Before he was even a Zulu King, he was just a chapter leader, you know what I mean? Like Zulu is something that, like one of the first founding families of hip hop, real deal. And so recognized as such, it has touched everybody across the world over. So wherever there was a chapter put down, there was obviously some like-minded individuals that they had found and believed were relevant enough and educated enough to be able to bless their area and build up the infrastructure to not only cultivate but to like actually preserve the art forms of hip-hop culture that we have come to know and love as what we define hip-hop being, you know? So like I just knew it was like the natural step in evolution. Like it was 500 Years, first live band, like the crew that I was with, we was all rocking. It was me, Gabe, Khalil, DJ CB4, Neezy Pleazy, George Asutaki, man, DJ Surreal, man. Like there was like a good 7-8 cats rocking in this live band with a couple of DJs with us, and it was like a whole bunch of MCs. Then it went from that to Alpha P, then it went from Alpha P to rocking with Nap's crew, like connecting all the different crews, and then from there, what's up with you, man? It went to Project Mayhem, which was another culmination in Seattle of all of these different crews and organizations. Then we communicated and did the Think Tank compilation that's out on iTunes and stuff. Sister Hellstorm, Mike Flying Kings, Gabriel Chiodros, Alpha P, Mind Movers, you know what I'm saying? Free Will did a lot of beats for a lot of homies and stuff. And even before that, man, like right before that, I was in another crew, man, and they were doing a lot of production for us. Cointel Productions, Counterintelligence Studios, my dude Ewok, Ezra, man, and he was getting it in on them beats, man, hooked us up with a lot of studio time, Justice, you know what I'm saying? And if you ever seen that Blue Baby out there, yeah, that's us, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, and it just progressed to something that meant a lot more. And when I saw that Zulu Nation was there, it was like the defining principle of that networking system being brought into fruition to make things happen, to institute the change that you want to see happen.
And back from the days of the Fresh Coast Collective, 500 Years, Salvation Army, NBA Naps, affiliated with Elevated Elements, share the history on your side of the border and the 250604.
Oh man, you know, like at the time we had like a whole bunch of different venues. We had just the city of Seattle actually had overcome a lot of struggles and stuff, like trying to maintain venues for having hip hop shows, period, because you know there was a couple of negative incidents or whatever. But when it really came down to it, like my generation and the generation after me, which was like Elevated and 4Dub and all them guys, it was really the passing of the torch and like mingling and intermingling and sharing in that particular moment, because it was what was supposed to happen, you know? Like we're not all still rapping like Grandmaster Flash and OG Melly Mel right now, you know? Like we're super trying to advance ourselves. Technology is changing and moving more rapidly. Kids are learning different things more rapidly. So it was only a natural progression for cats who were thinking faster on their toes and chopping, in the sense that our chops were how we rapped, you know, as opposed to how other people could not emulate that, really. So yeah, it just was like, okay, cats was ready for it. And then it got super crazy, like international, with like the CIB, the cats in like Germany, cats in Sweden. Yeah.
40 brethren.
Yeah, man. Like it was crazy, man. Like it was a super crew. And on this side of the border, like we got a nice little amount of love from doing like, shows around town and stuff. And then we were building, put out the Naps project. Should have been mastered a little bit harder, but it's really classic material, man. Everybody was barred in on it. All the young homies came with their hard skills, man. It was good. It was definitely a good thing to see happen.
Very amazing.
Even still to this day, a lot of them cats are still hustling and doing music real hard right now. You got cats like, you got Isaac, Lace Cadence, you know what I'm saying? My brother from Elevated Elements, still doing his thing super hard. And, like cats like Orko. He's another OG cat that we was working with since back in the day, doing shows with all of the blowed cats who would come up through here and through Canada and shit. Go down to Cali, fuck with them guys too, and like just really see how the OGs work the craft, basically. You build yourself and then you work the craft, because it is the craft and a craft, not just your craft, because if you were just doing it for yourself, nobody else would really be listening to it, you know what I'm saying, for a point. I mean, it is self-medication and, all of these good things, but when it comes down to it, it's about the all, the be-all and end-all is all of us together sharing the moments that we share, We ain't never getting them back, so we try and make it count. And that's really what the whole Naps crew and all of the different people that we associated with, that's how we saw, at least at that time we was on that wavelength of seeing how it was about that oneness and that togetherness and trying to be as filthy as you could possibly be.
And what's First Platoon?
Oh man, Alpha P, man, it's one of the founding super crews of like underground Seattle shit for the younger generations and shit. These cats that are out here right now, And we're about 13 people deep. It's made up of largely more MCs than anything else. It wasn't until a few years ago we started incorporating b-boys, graph artists, producers, and actually putting them in the crew. And it's just basically, Anunnaki politics, First Platoon. Like, we're one of the first in our generation to actually put it out there and, tell people it's all right to be yourself, man, especially when you're involved in this type of expression. You don't have to jump on the bandwagon and follow hella trends and stuff just to be noticed or to fit in or things like that, So that's really where the one comes from, and we identify with each other by seeing ourselves in the people that we surround ourselves with, acknowledging that we are all part of that same one and trying to return back to it.
And Alpha P, First Platoon, when you first began, and then being a very dedicated member of the Universal Zulu Nation from the 206 and pioneer of Seattle's hip-hop scene. Tell us about this area and the history behind it.
Well, you got way earlier crews than me. Like, I'm not really a pioneer. I'm just a young OG, you know what I'm saying? Like, as far as that's concerned, because Seattle's been doing it since, like, late 70s, early 80s. That's really been going down out here. The graph cats, the b-boy cats. There was even, like, some MC cats, you know what I'm saying? You got the Emerald Street Boys. You had, b-boy crews like Seattle City Breakers, and it was really going super hard out here with the generation before me, where you had like Black Anger out here. You still got Jason Black, Silent Lambs Project, Four Finger Fam with Black Stacks is what they got going on right now with Felicia Loud involved in that, man. You had cats like Merciful on there, man, you know what I'm saying? Union Street Hustling and stuff, man. You had Merm and Maul on there. You had so many different people who were like actually even before my time, on some hip-hop level stuff. But me becoming involved when I did, like in 90, I would have to say 94, 93 is when I started really producing cuts and teaching cats how to make beats on the Amiga 2000 computer.
Wow.
Back at the camps, Central Area Motivational Programs, Rites of Passage Experience Program, ROPE, and did that with this dude named Popsicle. He's another kind of older guy, like one generation before me, more into the gangster type shit, but we was fam, it was all crew, man. It was cats from the city and the South End. We know how we relate, we live there, you know what I mean? So back then it was just about going as hard as you possibly could. So that's what Alpha P meant, is trying to be the first to do some next level shit on your on your terms and making that sound relevant and making that become what the norm was, as opposed to following the path. So Zulu when I joined Zulu, when the chapter first had started, it just, like I said, it sounded like the right thing to do at the time, you know, and like even keeping into account like the beginnings of it and knowing that it was to stop youth violence and gang violence and things like that. It, you know, it speaks volumes to people who care about their relationships and their family members and the people that are loosely related to them on an outer rim scale of things. You know, small circle, big circle is still a circle. It was in. You feel?
Yo, opening for one of hip hop's founders, Africa Bambaataa.
Yeah,
Put
that
it
was tight.
down with Dead Prez and Percy P.
Yes, sir.
Abstract, rude, and built with prominent crews. Project Mayhem,
Yes.
Project Bloat,
Yes.
Silent Lambs Project,
Yeah.
the 206 Hop, and
Yeah.
Organization Central de la Raza,
It's a
and the
school.
B-Boy Popular Weekly Night Stop Biting. You've
Yeah.
been doing it.
Doing it hard, man. Doing it hard. You know, like you were saying, man. Stop biting. Every Tuesday night out here in Seattle at the spot called the Lo-Fi, longest running B-Boy night in Seattle. Like, real talk, man. You got everybody from the Massive Monkeys, Soul Shifters, Circle of Fire, back there B-Boy and cutting it up. 2 rooms, drink specials, you know what I'm saying? I'm back there holding it down, co-hosting on the mic. We give it the once over, like twice a night. Let MCs come and get their bars in, chill it out, let the B-Boys rock to the beats and shit, you know. I get my freestyle on every now and then, real host shit. But yeah, man, that's what's up.
I met 2 of the guys from Circle of Fire in
Oh, yeah.
Vancouver. Yeah.
Oh,
through
say
the
that.
Now or Never
Orb,
crew.
Orb,
Yeah.
and Free.
Yeah.
Yeah, those guys are OGs, man. I love those guys, man. I
Got to
love those
witness
guys.
seeing them like do backflips and stuff. It
Yeah,
was off the
it's a
chain.
real many, man. Seattle, we got some of the filthiest b-boys in the world out here. I mean, there's a lot of cats everywhere who are getting it in, but don't sleep. Cats out here will bust one on you real hard.
And a massive catalog with hundreds of songs, tape, vinyl, and video,
Yes, sir.
and albums, Heavenly Ghetto Cuts, the Naps Projects with Projects and Rhythms, The House That Love Built Volume 1 and 2, Titanium, Buttermilk,
Rhinoceros Briefcase, yeah.
Codex Desati, and West Coast Scavengers. Damn, you kill it. What is your favorite and the most units you've sold?
Oh man, it's so hard to say, man. I love all of my cuts. No, really though, like I think one of the hardest joints I put out was my 2003. It's one of my favorites, at least. Not one of my hardest. One of my favorites, definitely. I was going super hard. Has a lot of the Fresh Coast homies on there. A lot of my crew from Seattle on there as well. It was a nice blend of that time period. Right now, my Who Is album, available on iTunes. That's definitely one of my newer recent favorites because, you know, I'm kind of all over the board on that, going crazy. The new joint coming out right now is American Gangster Nerd. Yes, American Gangster Nerd. Because the difference between organized crime and petty crime is a mastermind. You know what I'm saying? Bragging about doing time and dry snitch on yourself is not gangster. Nina Simone, she was gangster. Mahatma Gandhi, he was gangster. Immovable objects and shit, man. You have to like really think about how you use other people's perception and then place them on yourself like that's the be all and end all of life. So even if I'm saying these words to you being a young OG in the game of rapping and hip hop and like nation building with motherfuckers who want to make some change, positive change, like that means nothing because it's really about who everybody else is and them acknowledging that they can be the best that they can be no matter what. And we fully embrace that because we promote that. We encourage people to do that. That's what all my crews are about. Trying to make us all the best us's that we can be, you know, and telling people to do that too. Don't be dumb. You love it.
And working with fresh chopped beats, Mad K Productions, who is Suntonio Bandanaz, sharing the project, and from A-Sun to Suntonio, what made you flip your alias?
Man, my MC name was Mad One. Okay? I'm still A-Sun. Don't get it twisted. That was some religious shit. Okay? It's like the supreme mathematics, 5% nation shit. A-Sun, be God Allah. Okay? There you have it. Now, MC shit. Madness the Allotropic. for short, Mad One. I said it on so many songs, I can't even count how many times I've said that.
That's right,
But
I've heard that.
on every fucking flyer for so long. Hey, son. And then how are you going to spell a 4-letter name wrong? Just on some bullshit. One time, this guy put Ansu on a fucking flyer in the paper. I was like, I don't know who this Ansu guy is, but I hope he rocks the show. I did not go. So, you know, like, I was like, okay, you motherfuckers want to play like that? Okay, I got something for you. Suntonio Bandanaz. Like Mike Flaunt was saying earlier from Ways of the Mind, Mind Movers and shit. He was like, we was in a think tank. It was a studio where Hailstorm, all of the homies recorded. We did a think tank compilation there. It was dope. A lot of people came through there, you know. And we was sitting on the couch, whatever. Was writing some raps or some shit. And Germ, he said something because I was doing something like being a smooth guy or something. I don't know what was cracking off. But he was like, come on, Suntonio Banderas, something like that. I was like, no, Bandanaz. You know? So I was like, yeah, that means so many things. And, you know, I really love my hood, man. And I really love everybody from any hood because I know what it's like to go through certain shit, man. And I have family that is going through certain shit. And I know that people are relative to these things. And without dry snitching on everything and, like, really putting it out there like that, like, man, a flag is something that you stand behind that represents more than just one person. It's like a group or an organization of people. You know, that's why every country has one, you know. And me understanding the inner workings of these different hoods and these different things that people are going through in these hoods. The hood is not the color of your flag. The hood is not the corner that you live on. It's the people on those blocks with you that are going through the same type of shit, you know. So that's why I changed it to Bandanaz professionally. I'm still a son.
You want to show us what you got there?
Oh, what?
The pocket?
Oh, I think somebody snatched it though.
Oh, snap.
It might be upstairs though. It might be upstairs. But yeah, man. Bandanaz. Who is Suntonio? A real nigga, boy. Staying away from them dogs. Hey, man. Because I'd rather be a ninja than a nigga, though. You know? Because they never hear a ninja coming. No ignorant negotiation, just action, you know? Never ignorant getting goals accomplished is the truth. But if you're hip, then you're already on point. If you don't know, you should act like it. It's important.
And music videos from You Getting Traded, Boogie Up the Block, Mind Made Up, What's Coming Out, share your collabos.
I'll never share. No, I'm just playing. So, man, Getting Traded, this guy named Blake Whitaker, man, he's doing like the stop motion animation stuff, man, and I did some voice work acting for him in exchange for this video. And it was mostly just really on the fly. Let's go here and film. Let's go here and film. Let's call up some homies. Rawr. The song was kind of cool, you know. It's one of the last songs on the album. It ended up being part of a project for MTV My Block competition. We were trying to get them to come to Seattle. But I think Minnesota or somebody else won. I can't remember who it was. But anyway, so that's how that video came about. He threw some stop motion animation there for me, and we kind of wilded out on the process, and it was, you know, some crazy shit. And then the Boogie Up the Block video. It was my first time directing, writing a full music video with a nice little production team and making everything be as I wanted it to look, you know? And it was my first time doing that. And it came out really well. I was blessed enough to have Andrew Luck, from Splatinum, you know, Street Ritual, really be kind enough to actually hook me up with that beat, man. It was something that was easy to get behind, you know, and a lot of the young people felt that I was styling out on it. It was dope, so I wanted it to be like something when they saw it, it was like tight to look at, you know. And then, man, I did my first little fan style editing video, Mind Makeup. It's off of the new American Gangster Nerd album coming out. The first real video for that is being shot by Dune 41, also on the Mad K Fresh Chop Beats label. He actually owns the Fresh Chop Beats name, and Mad K is Danny, Zulu King Chasm. So the first video for that is Lost More. It's very heartfelt, soul-searching, like very touching. It's a story rap, you know, about losing stuff and, like, you know, books, CD cases full of master copies of CDs and stuff like that. You know, like when you really work hard to obtain something or to have something, and then all of a sudden it's gone or whatever, you know? It's kind of like the song that I'm about to rock with Gabe tonight, you know? Distance. Like the amount of distance you had to travel to get to this point. The amount of distance between my words and somebody else understanding those words, you know, because all things are subject to interpretation and shit. Yeah, so anyway, I'm working on a project with Gabe, for real though. That's the name of the group, you know what I'm saying? And we're getting it in. I think we're gonna call it See Atlantis. That's just on the low though. SEATLANTIS, See Atlantis. And yeah, that's pretty dope. I'm also working on this alien technology shit with Andrew Luck and them guys. Got some crazy ass beats on that motherfucker. Crazy ass shit. And yeah, hopefully I'll be doing collaborations with you. But yeah, you know, just whatever people are doing in the world, I hope that it amounts to something that other people can actually take in, embrace, and build upon, you know, and make better, you know.
And how do you feel about the Seattle hip-hop scene and what's missing?
I think the Seattle hip-hop scene is thriving right now. It's getting crazier and crazier. Some people may seem to think it's getting lazier and lazier in different aspects, but I think that the only thing that it needs is more relationship building with like venue owners and like promoters who do big shows for everybody, you know. But I guess in the same light, everybody needs to make sure that their skills are nice and polished, nice and sharp, you know. You don't want to be caught slipping. Like, that's why I fuck with the crew and the people that I fuck with, you know. We're not just out here going, oh, the rappity rap. No, like, it's serious shit, man. Like, people, this craft has saved lives, you know. Like, the whole Zulu Nation shit, starting as a gang truce, is built off of respect, you know. And when people don't respect themselves or don't respect where they're at or the people around where they're at, like, it's cool for like a stage show maybe, but if you live somewhere and you're running around with no fucking respect for yourself or anybody else around you, it's not really gonna fly, you know, especially on some hip-hop shit, you know. I mean, you could start a hate group, get on and blog about it and be like, I don't like these guys. That's cool, but who gives a fuck, man? Like, hip-hop is community in action. For there to be community, motherfuckers need to interact and interface with the people in their communities. I don't give a fuck how much computer time they have where they're making their beats in their labs at home. If they don't get out into their hoods and into the places where hip-hop is really supposed to be taking effect, as opposed to where people are paying for it all the time. Like, it's kind of hard to really take a lot of that shit serious, man. You know? So, like, the motherfuckers that are the real cats, I mentioned a lot of them, you know, and I'm sure a lot of people that you talk to from Seattle, they'll co-sign on that one, man. It's just some of the shit you just can't really take so serious because motherfuckers don't take themselves serious. And when you don't overlook the rest of the shit because you hear like one example and it's not the best example, you know, you just gotta see the tight shit.
The largest crowd and the best tour you've ever rocked.
Ah, okay, there we go. All right, so the largest crowd, man, I don't know, man. There's been some pretty fucking big crowds. It's hard to say, man.
A couple you could share.
Man, the Africa Bambaataa show was crazy. The Dead Prez show in Evergreen, that shit was nuts. It was nuts. Fuck, the Grouch and Eli Christmas show that we did out here, that shit was beastly. There's been some pretty fucking big crowds. But I think the largest one that I've ever got to touch, personally, I'm still gonna have to say, man, I even did a show, like, it wasn't like a whole set, but I got on and rocked the mic with Buku One and Motion Man. Was AC Alone there too? I think Ace was there. Dale was there, and Dale lost his voice. And I got on and I freestyled like towards the end after he was like, I can't do it. I was like, yeah, savage rapping, raw. And then, but yeah, up in BC, I rocked at like the World Ski and Snowboard something with Matt the Alien and all of the Fresh Coast homies. And it was like a good few, like tens of thousands of people. Like, you know, I'd say multiples of maybe 20, 30,000 or some shit. Like throughout the whole village. And that one big ass stage they put out there right at the bottom of the mountain, like where they go up the ski lift. You could just see all the way down like this long ass street, and it was nothing but people kicking it outside to music. That shit was nuts, man, because it's just a party village anyway. But that shit was beastly, homie. I'll never forget that, man. Rock that shit. I rocked with fucking Rozelle at the at a little bar that was over there. Rocked the fucking show with Ace and Ab there. Ab fucking called me up on stage, and Ace was like testing me and shit, like, so what's your name? Yeah, dude. So what you saying? Like, yeah, and so I had to go back and forth with the dude on that shit. It was some crazy shit, man. That whole little festival, that was like the biggest crowd I think I've ever rocked. My favorite tour, rest his soul, man, Brother Toxic, man. He organized the War of the Words tour. I got to go perform, and then a couple of times actually judged or helped judge or whatever, a couple of battles and shit. Saw Brother Thesaurus down there doing his shit real hard, man. Met a lot of different filthy cats that are down in like the Bay Area and shit, and it was just really dope, man. Went out to Vegas, did some shit out there. It was just real nice, man. It was real nice.
And the best hip-hop memory you've been part of or contributed to?
The best hip-hop memory? Man. Damn, that's not even a fair question, man. Like, come on, dude.
That's what I asked.
Every moment is my favorite hip-hop moment.
Anything you can share with us.
Oh, man. Okay, there was this time where another brother, lost brother, man. This dude named Joey Potter, who just rest his soul, man. We just recorded a cut with Percy P, and he mixed it down for us and shit. And that was like some OG shit that I never would have thought that would have happened. Me being able to get on a cut with a guy like that and shit, man. It's a very, very memorable experience. Another one was something. Let me see, man. There's so many. There's the good ones, man. I don't know. I'm gonna still have to say that that battle that I had won at the Lotus Lounge the one time, where I busted the one-hand hollow back on the guy while I was rapping, and told him that even from that angle he looked like he sucked. And then the best part about the moment was me coming from the hollow back. I didn't fall down. I kind of flipped and popped up on him like, yeah, hold up, and kept going. So that was one of my favorite moments, man.
That's actually a Vancouver memory a lot of people have told me about, and yo, A-Sun did a hand flip, man. That was some crazy shit.
I had to get at this guy, man, because he was really thinking that it was okay to rap weak around me. Come on, dude, what are you doing, man? You never heard of Fresh Coast, NBA, National Battle Association? Grew up on that shit. We were eating MCs for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But then you had to be careful because you are what you eat and shit. So I don't want my beats to make me look too fat. You know what I'm saying? I just gotta keep chewing. And we stay chewy.
Suntonio Bandanaz have anything else to say in our exclusive interview?
Yeah, because love is a village. Hate can be a country. And for everything to be world, it takes everybody, you know what I mean? And you can do it. Shit. I don't know, the universe is inside you. Try your hardest to do better than you did the last time, no matter what it is that you do. And I'm gonna do the damn same thing, you know what I mean?
And you got anything to say to Canada?
Oh yeah, check me out at SuntonioBandanaz.com. You know what I'm saying? AlphaPlatoon.com. Also, go and download my shit off the internet, son. You know what I mean? Word bond. Follow me on Twitter, all that good shit. Yeah, and when you see me walking down the block, baby, ask me if I got a CD. Bet you I have one.
And you have any shouts?
Oh yeah, I'd like to give a shout out to my baby mama and them's, my 5 kids. Seriously though, Azana, Nicholas, Keru, Truess, Zaim. I love you. And to all of my homies up there in the Fresh Coast, keep doing it, baby, repping hard, because that's what we gonna do, you know what I mean? Gotta keep it unified. We gonna get that reunion tour cracking too, man. Y'all look out for that shit. Hailstorm is hella filthy. Abyssinian Creole, hella filthy, you know what I'm saying? About to rock the show up in here, you know what I'm saying? Black Star, hard. All right.
And shouts to Motions and A-Sun and Seattle's hip-hop scene, Sister Hailstorm all day. And this is the Archivist, and you already know the name, y'all.
Hey, for real though.